Chiefs Kingdom, what is going on? You're watching the Chiefs Report by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Chase Andrews, and on today's show, we're going to break down the latest Chiefs news, Chiefs rumors, and all that's going on in Kansas City directly from you, the fans. We're going to talk about everything that there is to talk about in Kansas City. But before we get into today's questions, listen, the bosses are on my butt recently, and the likes, they've said they're just not there for the Chiefs Report. They want them to be better. So I need your help. Let's get 600 likes on this video to quiet the bosses down. I got called into an office today to talk about my likes. Please don't make me do that again. I don't want to do that. I want to be in different offices. I want to do the Chiefs Report and not have to worry about bosses. So if you hit that like button, I would certainly appreciate it. It would make me very, very happy, and hopefully it makes the bosses happy too, because I don't want to be taken into offices anymore. Let's go with Joe Fazio having our first question saying, #Chiefs, do we take the best available player in the draft at 32? Or do we have needs that we should think about? Trading up if any particular player falls enough. The needs are very clear. Wide receiver, offensive tackle. Those are the first two picks. In what order? That's the question that I think Chiefs Kingdom and Brett Veach is going to have to decide upon. Because some people think wide receiver. I'm kind of in that boat. Some people believe offensive tackle should be the pick. I totally understand that, but offensive tackle is definitely a position that they need to kind of figure out, with Wanya Morris being the starter at left tackle. There's really, really good tackles in this draft. That being said, in regards to trading up, I think that may actually be the deciding factor, because let's say a Talisi Fuaga falls down to pick 24 somehow. Let's say a J.C. Latham falls down. Well, then maybe you trade up and go after one of those. But let's say a Brian Thomas Jr. falls. A.D. Mitchell's available. On the back end, I highly doubt this happens, but a Romo Dunze falls. Maybe you trade up and go get a wide receiver. So I think that's going to be really kind of contingent on the draft and what happens in that. But I appreciate the question. Definitely offensive tackle, wide receiver is the two necessities that the Chiefs need to get in the 2024 NFL draft. Kobe G. Dene saying, how is our left tackle position looking since Smith is a free agent? Will we have money to sign another receiver and pick up a left tackle? Who doesn't get flagged every other play? Yeah, I understand what you're talking about. Jawan Taylor had the most penalties in the NFL in terms of penalties actually received and penalty yardage. Not good. Wanya Morris right now is the starting left tackle, and I'm, again, said this a couple times, I'm curious to see the confidence level they have in him, because he did start a couple games when Donovan Smith was injured. That being said, Donovan Smith still has a chance to be re-signed. I think that is still something that we could easily see happen. However, to your point, if they do not re-sign Donovan Smith, I think that positional need will come from the draft. I think that will come in the first or second round. This is a very deep offensive tackle draft class, and like I mentioned in the prior question, we could see them trade up for it. We could see them take him in the first round. We could see them take him in the second round. The offensive tackle is something they need to be making sure of that they get fixed, but right now, kind of just seeing what they do. Donovan Smith, though, definitely could be re-signed. Dum-Dum68. Nice. Is there any chance the Chiefs could trade for Tee Higgins? Well, yes, there is still a possibility of that, and I think that, honestly, it would be a great fit. I know that there was long a time where we were talking about Tee Higgins on this show almost every single day because he was the talk of the town. He was the guy that everybody in Chiefs Kingdom wanted. Well, now, after he was franchise tagged, it seemed like all hope was lost. Then he requested a trade. The Chiefs seemed like a good fit. Obviously, it would be a high price to pay. You would then probably need to re-sign him to a contract extension. You have the money, though, for this year. I think it's definitely a possibility. The likelihood of it, that goes down. However, it's a good question to have. Do you want the Chiefs to trade for Tee Higgins? Type Y for yes. Type N for no. What are you thinking? Is this something you would want to see in Kansas City or not? Y for yes, N for no. Tony Fuentes comes with us saying, #Chiefs. Do you think the chances of re-signing McKinnon is very low? I say he's gone. It's too bad because I like McKinnon, but then again, he's getting old, so it speaks for itself. Well, obviously, given the re-signing of Clyde Edwards-Helaire, I do think McKinnon is not going to be in Kansas City next year. And that stinks because I agree with you. I like what he brought to the table. But Isaiah Pacheco is a young back. Clyde Edwards-Helaire is a young back still, and you have him this year. I think that you have to understand that the NFL is a business, and Jerick McKinnon is 31 years old. It's hard for running backs to last that long, and especially the way Jerick McKinnon plays the game as a receiving back. I'd hate for the Chiefs to sign him to a certain deal and then him get injured. It just doesn't make sense, especially when I feel as though the Chiefs have their eye on somebody in the draft, and we will have to see. Bill Chase says, let's talk mock draft. Let's talk mock draft. I think there's a couple of different ways you can go about it. I have a mock draft, my most recent one, out on the channel. If you want to go check it out, here is my picks. I had A.D. Mitchell in a trade as I traded with the Green Bay Packers, getting round 1 pick 25 from the Packers, and then a round 4 pick in 2025, and then trading them round 1 pick 32 and round 3 pick 95, getting A.D. Mitchell, the wide receiver. There's that wide receiver that I want. The tackle, Blake Fisher, he is a right tackle, just moving to left tackle. We've seen plenty of guys get drafted higher than him that have then moved to a different position. Braylon Allen, B- there on the grade, halfback out of Wisconsin at round 4. Round 5, Theo Johnson, get the 4th tight end on the roster. Jamal Haddon, the Tennessee Volunteer, the cornerback, helped out that depth chart. And then Joshua Cephas at wide receiver. So if you haven't gotten to see the latest mock draft, go check out it on the channel. Guarantee you, you're going to love it. I'll break down every single one of my picks and why I think it's the right way. But yeah, do love my mock drafts, not going to lie. Exian Charlie saying, should the Chiefs sign Justin Simmons? Oh boy, I would love that. I think that would be an amazing thing for Kansas City. Do I see it happening, though? That's where the question kind of comes in. He's going to be a little bit more expensive than the rest of the free agents on the market. I still am kind of surprised he has not signed just yet in a lot of different ways. But it would be funny. Played with the Broncos for his career. Now comes to Kansas City. A little bit of AFC West. We've already seen one team, the Chargers, who have lost some of their players to the Chiefs. And, well, we all know that, guess what? It was pretty obvious from Drew Tranquill. This is way better than L.A. Well, maybe Justin Simmons next year in the Super Bowl parade for the third time in a row can say this is way better than Denver. Who knows? He's great. I think he's a very good option. He is going to be more expensive, but given the Chiefs' cap space issues, I think a one-year deal they could easily get done. We'll have to see, though. Safety position is something that I think the Chiefs are somewhat comfortable with right now with Justin Reed. You got Shamari Connor, Brian Cook coming back. I think they're pretty comfortable with it right now, but I definitely would love to see Simmons back in the AFC West and with the Kansas City Chiefs. Make sure you're going to Game Time for all of your ticketing needs. You got a $20 off your first purchase by using code CHATSPORTS. You shouldn't have to worry about buying tickets to your next big event. And if you don't know what Game Time is, well, that's what's going to help you out with because it's the perfect ticketing app for not just sports. They've got music, they've got comedy, they've got theater, and they've got flash deals, zone deals, everything you could want from a ticketing app. Game Time has you covered. Killer last-minute deals, all-in prices, views from your seat, and with their best price guarantee, they're going to make sure that you always get the best price. The Royals playing the White Sox. You can go check that out. Obviously, it's going to be a good time all season long with Bobby Witt Jr. And $20 off, I mean, heck, that's basically a ticket in a very nice section, too. So you're talking basically a free ticket with your Chat Sports code that you're going to use at the redeem code section. Then you got enough money to go buy yourself a hot dog, go get yourself a drink, go get some popcorn. It's going to be a fun day at the ballpark if you're using code CHATSPORTS for Game Time. You can also use it for, again, any type of event in your area. Game Time has deals on tickets right up to the start of the event and even an hour after it starts. It's the place to find last-minute tickets. And so if you're looking to go to a game today, go on Game Time right now and use the code CHATSPORTS. Heck, you could be at a baseball game or maybe even a concert by tonight. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code CHATSPORTS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply, create account, and redeem code CHATSPORTS for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last-minute tickets at the lowest price guaranteed once again. Terms apply. Use code CHATSPORTS, CHATSPORTS, for $20 off. Totally Chiefs comes in with the question saying, besides re-signing Jones and getting Hollywood, is there a move Veach made that you think could be sneaky good? I think that we could easily see a very, very good game from Irv Smith. People are kind of brushing that under the rug. Irv Smith could potentially be an awesome tight end to have. I know that he had the meniscus tear. I know that the injuries are there, but I don't think people realize how good this guy was 3 years ago with Minnesota and how valued he was. I think Irv Smith is the guy that can do a lot of different things. And it almost seems like to me the Chiefs are constructing this tight end room to where they can put 2-3 guys on the field and you don't know where the heck is going. Because you're going to have a Marquise Brown on the right side. You're going to have a Travis Kelce, a Noah Grant, and Irv Smith, and what are you going to do? You have no freaking clue. I would highly, highly suggest you buy stock in Irv Smith. I think he could be very underrated. And another one, obviously, I think this one's more obvious. Drue Tranquill, big signing. Love to have him back. Kobe with another question saying, I heard we are in the market for a receiver. Heard names like Tyler Boyd. Wondering if that's because Rasheed or just to pick another wide receiver option. I think that Tyler Boyd is a very, very good option to have. Obviously, names are kind of floating around. Don't know the full details of what's going on with Rasheed, all that. But Tyler Boyd overall, I mean, forget if he's on the team, whatever, substitution or not. Tyler Boyd is a great option to have. I think Tyler is one of those guys that has been rumored with the Chiefs for a couple of different times. I think he is honestly a good fit, and we've talked multiple times how Patrick Mahomes can make these wide receivers that aren't maybe the top tier of the league look like absolute stars. Tyler Boyd, I think, fits that mold perfectly. So I would honestly really like to see the Chiefs sign Tyler Boyd, but we will have to wait and see. Brewer Miller says, can we trade Kadarius Stoney and Sky Moore to the Steelers for a draft pick? Probably not, for the simple fact of the Steelers have had their experiences with, how do I put this delicately? Wide receivers that have some drama issues. Let's say that. You talk about George Pickens, who is currently still there. Heard drama with that and kind of going on there. Deontay Johnson, who's now gone. Claypool. I don't think they're going to trade for KT, who's also had some problems. You talk about his live stream literally a couple days before the Super Bowl opening night. I don't think the Steelers will be up for that. I would love to. I'd like to take a draft pick from them and give them those, but also at the same time, you want to make sure that this wide receiver room is pretty filled up. Speaking of the wide receiver room, Tony Fuentes says, I want the Chiefs to bring in Odell. You and me both, bud. I think Odell would be a good fit. He's been a guy that's been talked about countless amount of times with the Kansas City Chiefs. I think his contract price has to go down, and I think we get the Kansas City discount. People are talking 1 year, $12 million. I think that's a pretty good price range for him. The Chiefs have that money. But if I'm Brett Veach, I'm going to Odell right now saying 1 year, $8 million, $11 million if you have all these incentives. Basically the same contract as he gave to Marquise Brown. If he says yes, cool. If he says no, cool. You're done with him. I think that's what you got to do. I would love to see him on the Chiefs, but for the right price. Ethan Hart says, #Chiefs, do we need to sign a running back? Love the show from England. Appreciate Ethan. With the re-signing of Clyde Edwards-Helaire, I think running back signings are done for a while. I think that position is taken care of for the time being. Do I think it's done for the entire offseason? No. I will say if the draft comes around and the Chiefs do not pick a running back, do not be surprised to see the Chiefs actually end up signing J.K. Dobbins. Nate Taylor kind of talked about it and said that the J.K. Dobbins visit was a productive visit for both parties and something that could happen later in this offseason. The thing that tells me, the Chiefs like J.K. Dobbins. They also like Clyde Edwards-Helaire. They liked Clyde Edwards-Helaire's price better than J.K. Dobbins, and they probably have someone in mind in the draft they want to get in the 4th, 5th, 7th round, whatever, 6th round. If they do not get that running back, whether it be Bucky Irving, Braylon Allen, Dylan Johnson, those are the 3 guys that have been linked to the Chiefs, maybe they do go sign J.K. Dobbins. Maybe those 3 are the ones they want. They don't get them. They get J.K. Dobbins instead. Still definitely a possibility, but I would have to wait until after the draft. I think nothing will happen in terms of running back status until draft night and obviously throughout the draft week and after that. And who knows? Maybe we see somebody late in the round. Isaiah Pacheco, a 7th round draft pick as a running back. And guess what? Boom. He was able to be one of the best running backs in the Chiefs system. John Yates coming in with our last question saying, could we trade Reed and have Connor start at safety? They are high on him, and if so, what could we get for Reed? So the problem with Justin Reed, his stats aren't amazing. I don't think it's fair to judge him by his stats because I think he's a lot more than just stats. But I do agree with you. Shamari Connor has been loved by all of the Chiefs coaching staff. I think he's a really, really good young talent out of Virginia Tech. I truly believe he will be the starter at safety within the next 3 years. I don't know what you would get for Justin Reed, though. That's one of those situations where you like Connor, you also like Reed. If the Chiefs get to a situation, say mid-season, somebody is hurt, you need help in other positions, that's when you trade Reed to go somewhere else and maybe a draft pick to go help out in a different position. Say your linebacker core. I mean, you have three guys that are solid. Leo Chenal, you got Nick Bolton, you got Drew Tranquill. I know they like Jack Cochran as well, but let's say what happened last year happens. Nick Bolton gets hurt. Maybe you need an extra linebacker. You trade Reed and a pick to go get somebody in the linebacker slot. I think that's what the Chiefs would do. Off-season-wise, though, do not see it happening. But I do agree, it's definitely something to think of because they do love Shamar Connor. And obviously, with Brian Cook back, it allows for some options. We appreciate everybody who sent in questions today. And make sure you are subscribing because we have Kansas City Chiefs content all year long. We're now into April, and we're still getting videos out to you twice a day, most days. So we do appreciate y'all watching, and as always, Chiefs Kingdom, peace out.